Hey, it's me again with Corel Draw tips and tricks. I've already done this video, but I've had somebody message me on Facebook wanting to know how I could put the numbers in and make them look good and make them equal. And this is the way I do it. I don't know if it's 100% right. I've already got our circle drawn. It's a 12-inch circle. And then I'm going to go over the rulers. I'm going to bring in an indexing line. I'm going to hit P and put it in the center. Do the same here and put it in the center. Now, since the last video, I actually found a way to make the diamond a little easier. You go to your polygon tool, just make sure you have 4 sides selected, and you make your diamond shape. It's perfect, it's equal. Fill it in with black. Take away the outline because you don't ever want to cut that out. Now, there's 2 ways you could move this over here. There's this way, and it's pretty easy with this one item. But what I would suggest doing, and kind of learn the shortcuts, hit the P on the keyboard, go back and select both items, and now hit the T on your keyboard. And you can move it 2 different ways. You could nudge it down, but I always keep my nudge on 1/1000th. But you could use the control key and just move it down. And by using that, you can't really move it off that line. So that looks pretty good. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and we're going to make a duplicate of this. So Control D, double click. I've got my Snap to object selected. So it's going to be in the center. It's going to snap to it. I'm going to rotate that 30 degrees. I'm going to make a duplicate of it all the way around. Okay, that's pretty much just like the last video. But then what I would do, and what I normally do, is just change the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9. So let's just do that, and I'll leave the other ones. So you've got an item right here, but you want the number to be equal. So we're going to move this line over. We've already got a line going the other way because we already have the center. So then just zoom in pretty good, select your item, and you can see this line needs to be moved over just a hair. Select your item and it could actually move over a scunch more. All right, now that would be a 9, so just go to your text tool, type in the letter 9, make it whatever size you like, but make it appropriate to the shape of the diamond. Put it right there, zoom in, click on it. You're right on dead middle. Now all you have to do is take your diamond away. Now what I do, instead of going back to the text tool, I'm going to make a copy of that, so Control D. I'm going to hold down the control button and move it over a little bit. So now I'm still on this line. I'm going to go up to my Edit Text tool, and I'm going to change this to a 3. So now I've got the exact same size. I'm going to move this over a little bit. I'm going to keep my control button down. That way I haven't moved, off my line. And we still need to draw a line this way. I use indexing lines a lot. I like them. So your 3 just needs to move over a little bit. There you go. Then you would do the same thing on the 12 and this, and you could change every number exactly that same way, just using these, because these things are going to be in the center. They're going to be equal around the clock. Now what I suggest, if you've never made a clock before, I suggest doing this. I make 12 by 12 clocks, and I back them up with MDF. Well, first of all, what we need to do is you need to measure a hole, and you can do some test cuts with, let's make it a 1/2 inch. It'd probably be smaller than it for your clock part to fit through. Hit your P. Now you're in the center. Now what I would do is group all this together, kind of move it out of the way, and it's 12 by 12. You need a piece of plywood at least 13 by 13. So let's make this 13 by 13. move it over the corner. Okay. Then just put your clock face in that board. Leave yourself plenty of room away from your ruler, off the edge. Then what I would do is take a piece of blue masking tape and put it right there. Go up here, take a piece of blue masking tape, put it right there, and keep your wood from moving. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this out first. So I'm going to select. You'd have to ungroup it, but to print it, I'm going to ungroup everything. I would grab that, hold down my shift key, grab that. Now I've got those two objects selected. When you go to print and you go to cut this out with vector, you're only going to cut those two items, and that's, well, one, it won't cut out this, but you wouldn't really have that in there. But in case you've left one of your objects with a hairline around it when you made it, it's going to cut it out because the laser doesn't know any better. It's just doing what you ask it to do. So I would cut this out, completely remove it from the laser, get you an random orbital sander, and sand off the burn residue on the front and the back. You know, get rid of all the burn marks, all the sap residue, and then you can put it exactly back in that same hole and then run your job with engraving it, and it'll engrave it, and you come out and you really have less sanding to do, and you've already sanded the back so you won't get the front dirty. And I do it because I actually put it on a lathe with using the center hole and spin, and I actually take off the outside burn on the edges to kind of get it back to plywood looking. A lot of people like that look, and on an 1/8 inch plywood it doesn't really burn it. It just kind of almost gives it a tan or a brown tint to it. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.